The 6 famous tea mountains. Let's find out what makes them so special. Hey everyone, my name is Sigi and I love all things puer. And today I'm here to share a sort of new project and a new tea with you. The project I'm talking about is a set of tasting sets, sampler sets, however you want to call it, on the nannuoshan shop that we put together. It is going to feature, I think, 17 teas in total from our private collection, all of which are somewhat younger, single origin, higher quality puer teas. The kind of goal with these sample sets is to send them out to people and to do group video calls on Discord together to try them and sort of share our experiences and impressions of the teas and to sort of learn together. The first of these sets is already released. You can find it on the nannuoshan shop. It's the 6 famous tea mountains sampler, which includes teas from 3 different areas, 4 teas in total. There's a tea from Yibang, 2 teas from Manjuan, and 1 tea, which is the tea I'm trying today, this one right here, the 2015 Youle. Now, while I put this tea in my gaiwan, I'm just using a 100 milliliter gaiwan and 5 grams of tea today. Just quick and easy. I will tell you a few things about Youle Tea Mountain. Okay, I think these teas only need a very short rinse. This is like not very old tea. It's also, as I said, very high quality material. So we're just giving this a quick rinse and then we can already get started on the first steep. But yeah, if you're interested in this kind of group experience and you're interested in trying some good teas, I think these samplers that we're putting together should be quite useful to you. This is only the first in a set of 4 sample sets in total. They're also offered at different sizes, 5 grams, 10 grams, and 20 grams, if I recall correctly. So there's something there for everyone. And even if you want more than just one session with each tea, we have an appropriate sample size to accommodate that. All right, just doing a fairly brief steep here. Also, waiting a moment before I start drinking this because it's very hot. And I do not want to burn myself if I'm supposed to tell you what it tastes like. The smell, however, from these leaves is already quite nice. It feels really sweet, already like a little bit mellowed out. But more importantly, let's take a moment to talk about Youle Mountain before I start drinking. Youle Mountain is one of, actually the only mountain that belongs to both the old 6 famous tea mountains and the new 6 famous tea mountains. Where is Youle Mountain? If a lot of you may know that the Yiwu tea region is on the eastern end of Xishuangbanna, but if we move westwards from there, immediately to the left or to the west, we have Manjuan, which you will also find in the sampler and which is also part of the old 6 famous tea mountains. If we move even further to the west, we have this mountain, Youle. And if you move even further left from Youle, you have a mountain that I think is a bit special to some of you here, specifically Nannuo Mountain. So we can think of Youle as in between the Nannuo Mountain and the Manjuan tea mountain. And these three mountains sort of create a bridge, if you want to call it that way, from Yiwu all the way to the Manghai tea area, with Youle being more or less in the middle. Okay. I just decanted my first steep. I'm not going to waste any time and immediately prepare the second one so it has a bit of time to cool down, while I'm still drinking the first one. All right. So we've learned a bit about Youle Mountain. We've learned a bit about the 6 famous tea mountains in general. Now, I think we can assume that these mountains are called the 6 famous tea mountains for a reason, and this is pretty high quality, also unfortunately not very cheap tea. So I think we have something to look forward to here. Okay, I'm also keeping the steeps fairly short today. And not doing the kind of longer, stronger steeps that I usually would with an older Sheng Pu'er. Okay. Now, what can we observe just from the liquor color here? This tea is from 2015, which means it's 7 years old by now. 7 years means it's not exactly fresh anymore, and this, I think, is reflected in the color of the tea liquor. Let me try to hold it into the camera a bit. As you may be able to notice, this tea does not have any sort of green hue to it anymore. It's already like fully yellow, slowly turning towards amber, maybe a bit of orange, sort of in that direction. But yeah, what we can say is this is likely to already have progressed past its stage of youth, if you want to call it that way. And hopefully it's already on its way to towards aging. Let's see what it tastes like. Slight hit of bitterness up front, not very strong, and whatever bitterness it has, quite quickly transforms into a sweet aftertaste. Very, very pleasant aromatics filling my mouth. More aromatic than I would have expected, honestly, at first. Wow. Yeah, I'm getting a sort of honey-like fragrance that just kind of fills my entire mouth. It's very present. It even moves up into the nostrils a little bit. That's a really wonderful, lingering sweet taste. Another thing I find a bit surprising about this tea is the just lack of astringency, really. It's honestly quite the opposite. I'd say this tea is mouth-watering. It's, yeah, and then you have that sweet sensation, and it makes you salivate. Wow. Yeah. And as I taste this further, I'm not really getting anything that I would associate with a tea that's still like green or young. It doesn't have this kind of plant flavor, if you want to call it that. It's it's not particularly grassy or anything like that. It's not really savory in that green chlorophyllc sense. Hmm. Wow. I'm really curious about how this tea is gonna perform in like, let's say, 10, 15 years from now, because for what I'm getting here, I think this is already on a very good trajectory. Now, if I combine my own impressions with what I've heard other people say about higher quality material from Youle, um, the impressions I've gotten from other people is that it's generally a very sweet tea with a good mouthfeel that's really pleasant to drink. The kind of thing that makes you feel sort of calm and comfortable. And I think we can already see traces of that in this tea. These other teas that I've gathered impressions from are a bit older already. They're like from the mid 2000s. And I think I think we can make out a trajectory from those impressions and what I'm getting here. Already, this tea, very sweet, very nice mouthfeel. I am getting a little bit of drying now afterwards, but it took a good while to come out. And while the tea is in your mouth, it is very much mouth-watering, like I said. But especially the aftertaste, the lingering aroma, what comes back after you swallow the tea in this one is quite exceptional. And if we consider the geography of Youle, with it being part of that sort of bridge between Iwu and Nannuo, or even the entire Manghai area, ooh, a bit of bitterness on that second steep now. Makes sense since it was a fair bit stronger. I I can kind of see it, you know, how like Manghai is known for bitter, strong tea. Iwu is known for something that's a bit more gentle, but with a lot of aftertaste, a lot of Huigan and the like. And in that sense, I think we do get some of the aspects of that are more towards Manghai, but this overall, I think this feels a bit more in the direction of Iwu. The aftertaste is quite remarkable, but also the mouthfeel is quite remarkable. And I think they combine together in a really exciting way. I My first impression of this tea is that the material is certainly quite good. We can also take a quick look. I can hold it into the camera here so you can take a look. And then I'm also going to take a closer look myself. We have some really nice intact leaves. I can also pull one out here. Yeah, we can see clean and even processing. All of that looks very, very good to my untrained eye. even a nice sort of leathery texture and good strength on these leaves. Yeah, I think we have a winner here, if you want to put it that way. But let's get back to tasting. Yes. It still remains very pleasant. The second steep feels a bit more active than the first one. It sort of has a bit more motion in its flavor, with that bitterness that's coming in, with that astringency that's coming out a bit more now in the second steep. This tea is more dynamic than before. Before it was like pleasant in the mouth and then it transformed into that aftertaste. But now the second steep adds a whole dimension while the tea is in the mouth, with that bitterness and that astringency that then go from one place in the taste to another in the aftertaste. In that sense, this tea feels quite alive to me. There's a lot of motion going on there. Okay. Again, as I've said, this tea is part of the 6 famous tea mountains sampler on nannuoshan. Comes in 5 gram, 10 gram, and 20 gram sampler sizes. And there's going to be a tasting with these teas. Likely even 2 tasting events that will be directed both by Gabriele and by me, that are going to take place on the nannuoshan Discord. If you're not on there yet and you're interested not just in this particular tasting, but also in things like weekly tea classes or just general tea discussion and a lovely, in my opinion at least, and thriving online community, then please do check out the Discord. We'd be happy to have you there. Oh, nice. Really nice. Yeah, and this tea also feels like it has a lot to give. I'm definitely not going to drink through it during this video, because then I think we'd be here for quite a long time. And this is just supposed to serve as both an introduction to the tasting sets and to the tastings we're going to hold on Discord. This one, I think, is going to take place in early October. And I would love to see you all there. I think even if you can't make it to the actual tasting, I think these teas are worth experiencing. At least this one. I'm still looking forward to trying the other ones in that sample set, but this one is already a very, very good start. Oh, so nice. Yeah. At this point, I can't really say much more about the tea. I am enjoying it a lot. It's also nice, I think, that these teas have a few years on them already and they're not like completely fresh and still green, because that it does make them a bit more comfortable, especially if we think about like drinking multiple of these teas during those tasting sessions. I think going with something like this makes it much easier to stomach than if they were all from 2022 and we just went all in on that. Yeah. Something else that kind of came to my mind just now while trying this tea, as you can see, like in general, I'm somebody who likes to use Yixing teapots when drinking Sheng Pu'er, but when I drink younger ones, especially lately, I've started using Gai ones more and more again, rather than Yixing pots. Now, I'm curious, and please tell me in the comments if you can. Also, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. At which point of poor age, or at which, let's say, level of maturity, since obviously, like, years also always need to go in conjunction with storage conditions when we talk about the tea's level of maturity. But at which point of maturity in a Sheng Pu'er would you switch from drinking it in a gaiwan and treating it as something younger to drinking it in an Yixing teapot and maybe treating it as something older already? Me personally, I'm not entirely sure where that point would fall. I do think with tea like this, gaiwan is still the more appropriate vessel, but it's hard to really nail down when that exact point of transition comes where using an Yixing pot and the way it enhances mouthfeel might end up being a bit better than just using the gaiwan, which, as we found out in the video Gabriele and I did together about puer brewing methods, tends to emphasize the aroma a bit more over the mouthfeel. All right, that was the last sip of the third steep. I am quite enamored with this tea, and I'm very much looking forward to sampling the whole 6th grade tea mountain set together with all of you on Discord. If you do end up getting the set, please let me know in the comments. Let me know about the whole Gaiwan versus Yixing teapot, when and how sort of thing, your personal take on it. I'm always interested in reading what all of you have to say. And I hope we'll see each other soon, both here on YouTube and on Discord. Goodbye.